Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the latest model for the BMW M3 xDrive Competition. Huge shout out to Hendrik Mini for providing this sedan for me today. Take a look at their website, that link is down in the description. This M3 is finished off in a special order color. This is Fiona Red, and the MSRP start just over $88,000. Now this is powered by the 3-liter twin-turbo inline-6. The competition models are only paired to the 8-speed automatic. This pumps out 523 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque. Sent through that xDrive all-wheel drive system, it will propel this nearly 4,000-pound sedan from 0 to 60 in BMW claimed 3.4 seconds. However, we have seen times under 3 seconds. This has a top speed of 180 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 15.6 gallons, and you'll expect to see 16 miles per gallon in the city and 23 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 112.5 inches. Its overall length is 189.1. It has a width of 74.3, a height of 56.6, and its ground clearance measures in at 4.8 inches. Now, as we move on to the exterior styling, this is a really nice color for this model. You'll notice there's also a lot of gloss black accents up front with the split design for the large kidney grille. There's a forward-facing camera and even a sensor for distance pacing. You'll notice parking sensors too, and then more inlets on both sides provide additional cooling. Now there's also a dark housing for all of the LEDs, and then you'll notice some more gloss black accents in those lower bumper corners, along with additional inlets to provide better airflow and cooling. And then the lines from the kidney grille work their way to the hood just to tie it in very nicely. Now this model also has a two-tone design for these wheels, and it also has the bronze M Sport brakes, meaning that this has the carbon ceramics, which of course is an option. You'll notice more gloss black for the lower side skirt. It's on the M3 Competition badge. It's also on the power folding side mirrors where there's a camera and a turn signal. You'll notice more gloss black for the window trim. And then with this competition model, this has the carbon fiber roof with the fins going on both sides of that antenna fin right in the middle. You'll notice too, some nice lines that flow down the side, leading the way to the back where there's the small trunk mounted spoiler finished off in gloss black. There's also the backup camera, a dark housing for the LEDs, and then more gloss black for the bumper. And this also has the quad tip dual exhaust, which you can remote start. And then you can also use that control to shut it off as needed. You can use the control on the key fob or the release underneath to gain access to your cargo space, where this does have a power operating trunk lid. For this sedan, good amount of space in back. There's no storage under the floor, but you do have this cargo net on one side. There's also a small storage bin on the opposite side. And then you can also fold down the back seats. So this is a practical family style sedan that has a lot of interior space for people or for extra cargo. Now there's two buttons up top where you can close the trunk lid or lock the vehicle too. If you do lock the vehicle, this does have proximity door handles. So just grab any door handle to lock and unlock it. And you can also set up the key fob where you walk away from the vehicle, it will automatically lock. When you approach the vehicle, it will unlock. So you have some nice features like that. Now this model is also spec'd with a Fiona Red interior. So red on red, it actually looks really nice in person. This model is Harman Kardon for the audio. There's plenty of storage down below, brushed accents with the interior lighting, and then some black leather up top. And then the two-tone design for these seats. Now if I fold this seat down, you'll see that it folds pretty much flat. And then there's a large opening into the trunk there. And then at 5'10", let's hop into the back where this model also has the carbon fiber bucket seats. So you can see through all of those cutouts. But they also provide you with a little bit more space in back. So I have plenty of leg room. There's also vents. You have temperature adjustments, auxiliaries down below. And then at my height, just barely touching the headliner here. But it's a practical sedan. I could ride around town. 2 other people could be back here. You could fit in a car seat, smaller kids, and you have a very fun and practical sedan. Now right in the middle, I do wish there were armrests or cup holders, but you can fold this down as an armrest and that just gives you some access into the back. But you do have the large cup holders in the doors, so you do have those. It just would be nice to see something in that middle armrest. Now up front, this has memory seating adjustments, window controls, side mirror adjustments, which are power folding, trunk release, and more storage. And then here's a look at the carbon fiber bucket seats. Fantastic bolstering support to them. They're also automatic too, so those adjustments are down on the side. And even though it has this thigh support here, it's really not all that hard to get up and over once you get used to the seat itself. Now this has a leather steering wheel with the flat bottom design, all the carbon fiber accents. But let's bring this back to life and take a listen to how this sounds. And coming back to the gauge cluster now, you'll see on the left side, there's miles per hour and fuel. On the right side, there's the tach and engine temperature. Now you can also go through some more information within the center of the screen by using this control right here. There's also volume, tuning, voice commands, and Bluetooth. And you'll notice too, this has adaptive cruise because of the ambient lighting strip up above. Now by pushing on that, we can start to scroll through content here, where you have a lot of information to pull up. You can see how the vehicle is currently set up. There's also some additional vitals that you can scroll through as well, some performance information too. So you have quite a lot, which is nice. And then this also has the head-up display. So there's a few different settings you can go through with that, depending on the information that you would like. Now this also has massive carbon fiber paddle shifters and then cruise control settings on the left side. There's also headlight adjustments, a dimmer switch, one air vent, and then there's also some soft touch materials for the dash. And then with the infotainment system, you have a lot more to go through and everything in the lower section is fixed. Now you also have shortcuts down below, so you don't have to use this as a touchscreen system. You can get into your drift analyzer, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, you have your interior lighting, your seat comfort, you can get into some different driving settings as well. There's quite a lot that you can get into and activate. Now on the home screen, you have all of these widgets, so you can easily swipe through all of these and add some as well. There's a shortcut to the climates. You can get into navigation and activate all of those settings. There's also music too, and then you have heated seats, heated steering wheel, and temperature adjustments for your driver and passenger. Now there's carbon fiber underneath that, ambient lighting with air vents, volume tuning, hazards, and defrosters, and then underneath the carbon fiber lid, there's wireless charging, auxiliaries, and cup holders. Now these are the controls for this system. So like I mentioned earlier, you can use these just depending on what you need to get into. And then this is how you put the vehicle into reverse. It will hold in that position there, where this has automatic parking, backup assistance, and then with the 3D view, it's neat to see that it is body colored for this model, but you have plenty of visibility around the vehicle. And then when you put the vehicle into drive, push the shortcut icon to the left of the shifter, and that's how you can pull up that forward angle and full screen. Now behind that, there's park and the adjustments for the transmission. So you can adjust how quick or slowly you want that to react. There's also traction control, parking sensors, engine start stop. When you put this into M mode, you can go from road to sport and track. So that is going to adjust the gauge cluster and the head-up display, and you can still go through information on this left side. So if you want to pull up some more sporty information, you can get into that, and then you have the large tach for your head-up display. Now there's also setup located behind that, and that's how you can get into M1 and M2, which are these shortcuts located on the steering wheel. So you can go from efficiency to Sport Plus with all of these settings here and have them ready to go. So you could have daily driving for M1 and then track driving for M2, and you are ready. Now there's also an exhaust note button, auto hold, and the e-brake. There's an auxiliary with storage and the armrest, along with a locking glove box, and then garage door buttons and dome lights. And then here's a look at visibility. For being a normal sedan, normal size sedan, you definitely have a lot of glass, so it's incredibly easy to see all around. So back behind the wheel of another M3 Competition, this one here is a spec that I haven't seen before. This individual color, I think, is a very, very rare color for this car, but it also is a tribute to some of the original M3s with some of the introductions of those models and the Fiona Red that some of those cars were. This is a really cool color for this latest generation, and with the matching seats, it actually looks really good, red on red. Now with the options that this car has, MSRP is going to be closer to $100,000 or so, and you have a lot of different ways that you can spec the M3 in general. Carbon ceramics are an option, of course. You have extended leather that you can get, which this model does not have. Pretty much everything else is fully loaded as far as the options go, including these seats. I talk about these seats every time I get to drive an M3 with them because personally, we have an M3 coming that is going to have these seats. I love these seats. They are super comfortable for my body style and very comfortable for daily driving with the M cars that we've had in the past with these seats. So if you want to do some performance driving, you also want just a performance feel, they can be comfortable for daily driving. Now with the M3, You also have the option of going with the manual. You can get rear wheel drive for the automatic, or you can get all wheel drive with this Competition here. So depending on the grip that you want and the transmission, of course, you have a lot of ways that you can spec these vehicles, and they have so many different characteristics that I talk about all of the time. I've been in a lot of performance sedans, and this is honestly one of my favorite just because of the drama and the character that you get even with the automatic. So I'm a manual type of person, and I have a manual myself, but with the M3 here, it's a tough one for me because I've been in the manual. I think it's definitely fun, but there's no denying that the rawness and the feel that you get even with the automatic here is very, very impressive because you have so many ways you can adjust the transmission feel. You have the different driving modes as well. You can set this car up to be comfortable for daily driving, and then you can also set it up to be comfortable for performance driving. So if you want some smoother shifts and stop and go traffic, you will get those. It's basically a non-existent shift feel. Or if you want to do some performance driving, you have the quick, snappy, crisp shifts. And it gives you a little bit of drama. So there's kind of a lurch in between the shifts when you have it at that highest point, but that just adds to the drama. And you can delete that or get rid of it if you go down into the lowest setting. So the automatic just almost has so much more to offer than the manual, and you get all-wheel drive. So if you want to do some tuning and add more power, you can get all that power down through that all-wheel drive system. But this is a fun vehicle to drive. We had one for a week. My wife and I were in it almost every single day because why not when you get an M3 Competition for a week? And it was so much fun. So stay tuned for the M3 content that's coming to the channel in a few months. And there's going to be a whole lot surrounding this vehicle and what it's actually like to own and drive on a daily basis. So we're in all the Sport Plus settings, second gear, here we go. And just a minor acceleration, this is a very, very performance-oriented vehicle, and one that if you want to see us do some performance driving with, take a look at the mountain trip, where the one that we had for a week, we took it to the mountains, we got to rip on it and really experience the performance of this sedan. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the M3. And even with the transmission shifts that I mentioned earlier, even with the vehicles in normal drive, the characteristics are much different as well. So we're in normal drive right now in the highest shifting, and it's already going to shift much quicker than if we put it in the slowest setting. So you can even adjust that for just normal day-to-day driving like this without using the paddle shifters. And again, it just adds to the character of this vehicle. But in terms of how this drives, it can be very fun, very comfortable and smooth. Compared to the 330 or even the M340, it's going to be, I don't want to say a little harsher, because in my opinion, I love sports cars, I love performance driving vehicles, so for me, I'll daily drive this. I'll go on a 6-hour road trip, it's not going to be an issue. But it is going to be a little bit stiffer if it's not something that you are used to. But people daily drive these, and it is something that can be comfortable to drive every single day. So it just depends on if you want that extra power and performance in a daily like this, you have the option to do that. And then you have a lot of space too for even your backseat passenger. So car seat will fit in the back. This is just a normal vehicle at the end of the day. You just have a lot of tech underneath and performance, which is nice. So with these carbon seats, 5'10", with the carbon roof, I have maybe about 3 inches or so of headroom, enough for me at my height to even put a helmet on and do some performance driving. So headspace is going to be good. Even if you're a little taller than me, you can fit comfortably. And of course, you can go with the standard seats too, which surprisingly hinder your back seat legroom. So it's a toss-up between climbing in and out of the seats or having more leg space for your back passengers. I would totally go this route. You have this divider in the middle, so maybe if you like to move your legs or something, you're kind of split, but I think it's very comfortable and doable if you want a seat like this. But that is going to wrap it up for the BMW M3 Competition. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick Mini for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads, and I will see you all in the next video.